So let's see just how quickly it all crumbles.
Okay,
Just kidding.
I'm ready.
It's already on.
I know it is. That's why I said I'm ready. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
Yes.
I can't help it. I love that line.
Anybody
So
else?
do we.
Yeah.
We all love it.
Yep.
It's all great.
Yep.
Everything's normal. Everything's fine.
Everything's
As I
normal.
say.
Couldn't be better. No,
Just-
really. Could
Just
not be
really
better.
wanting technology to not murder me.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yes.
All,
Well,
all a girl
I
can
noticed.
hope
I
for.
noticed there's a lot of people are using Zoom, especially
Mhm.
during the pandemic. And when I signed off with my class at USC the other night,
Mhm.
we were Zooming with a filmmaker in Bucharest,
Right.
Romania, and I had my teaching assistant Zeke, moderating the Q&As,
Mhm.
and Alex Ago, who sort of runs the course. And nobody knows how to say good night.
Yeah, right. But
Are
bye
you-
now.
Okay. And
see
then
you
are
later.
you leaving? I mean,
right.
is it off
Is it
now?
rude for me to press leave meeting
Yeah.
now?
Isn't that how several people lost careers?
Well,
if
but,
I'm not
that's
mistaken?
also what happens to us when we do. When my dad and I have been doing our podcast, is that you're recording with people, and then it finishes, and they're not sure if
If we're done.
if we're done, or if we're going to
Yes.
say
And
goodbye
so-
because we stopped recording, and
so,
so we end up, we all end up
we
going
all
sort
end
of,
up going,
hello.
I'm so glad it's over. I can't stand those people. Okay. Oh my God, we're still recording. Anyway,
It's a
it's a beautiful, beautiful Sunday
it's a Zoomism.
in fabulous Los Angeles, in San Fernando
in sunny
Valley.
Southern California.
Yeah.
Yes, today truly is sunny.
It really is.
It's
It's so
beautiful
odd because
day.
it was cold yesterday. Cold by our standards. I have to keep saying that, being originally Leonard and I from the East
Did
Coast.
you drink a lot of coffee this morning?
No, I didn't have much sleep. I'll tell you
There we go.
that. Why, you got some coffee on you?
No, I got nothing.
Okay,
I got
just
nothing.
checking.
Lady. I got nothing.
Just checking. Anyway, she said, "Be lively." I'm being lively. Anyway, I'll be quiet now.
No, my what we always joke about, my mother's resting face looks like she's going to kill someone. We lovingly call it guppy face, which is sort of this. And so we always say to her, Mama, just so you know, because what happens is my friends take screenshots and send them to me, and they are
What's wrong with your mother?
hilarious.
Why is she doing that?
But I was like,
Yeah.
no,
Why
she's
why would
fine.
a friend do that?
Yeah.
Because they care.
They
Because
care.
they
Yes.
care.
Yes.
It is so
Anyway, gee whiz, guys. Odd. Now we are Jewish. This is not a surprise.
Now we are Jewish.
Now we are Jewish, and we did not celebrate Passover as we always
No,
do.
we did not observe
Observe it as we
Passover by
always
having
do.
a proper Seder because usually we go to Northern California,
With
To
our
my cousins in
to
Walnut Creek.
cousins, and we've been doing that for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And just the four of us,
It's like, hello. So I did get, and suddenly we've got matzo ball soup, okay? And I go,
Suddenly.
I don't have any mandel. You know, it sounds stupid, I know, but I
so
like mandel in my
we had
soup.
a proper Passover dinner.
We did,
Yes,
we
we
did.
But not a formal Seder.
And,
last
and
night.
half of Dianu for about a second, I think. Yeah.
Haft. And our cousins, the ones that we normally are with, they did a socially distanced Passover
In their
with
back.
with our own family up there. It's our cousins and their kids and now grandkids,
Mhm.
but everybody has to be separate. So the photos are really funny
I haven't seen
you've
them
got
yet,
Stevie and Sherry
they
are at one table.
Did it in the backyard,
You've
everybody at separate tables. So I just think that's
Yeah,
wonderful.
it's pretty funny photos.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
fingers crossed that
Next year in
Jerusalem.
in
we will
Jerusalem
all
or
be okay.
Walnut Creek.
Two news items du jour.
Yes.
Oh, good.
One is
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con International has announced that they're going to have a smaller but in-person event.
They're calling it a special edition Comic-Con. And they're going to be doing it over Thanksgiving weekend this year.
3 days.
Now they're still going to be doing what they're going to call virtual Comic-Con in July. So that's still going to be happening,
okay.
and which is exactly what they did last year. But what they're sort of saying is that this is supposed to be like a precursor. Hopefully we're going to have more people. Hopefully we'll all be able to gather more easily, blah, 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 come November. And it's been interesting to read people's reactions.
What do you
because it's sort of that mixture, which is on the one hand, I was talking to Josh Clement about this last night. All my stories can begin with Josh and I were talking last night.
They went to school together.
We grew up together.
It's just so weird.
And he and I, he is the person in my life who is most tuned in to all things going on in the industry. He loves award show season. He loves all that kind of stuff.
Plugged into pop culture.
Yep. And he started working Independent Spirit Awards with me a couple of years ago. And that's been really fun, just for us to be running around and being ridiculous together. But we were just saying, on the one hand, I understand everybody needs something to look forward to. And I think that really that's sort of what that is it's saying, you know, hey guys, by next year, hopefully we'll all be in the same ridiculous convention hall, Febrezing each other. Yes, I stand by this. I fully believe that they should be spraying Febreze.
It's a bit overwhelming
at the front of the convention center.
Not
just hose that stuff in.
It's mankind or womankind descends on this little place in San Diego.
It's like being on the New York subway during rush hour.
White.
That's an excellent description.
It's white.
That's an excellent description of
I mean,
it is
apt. A sea of people, everybody, all kinds, particularly people with axes in their head walking around because they all do they do cosplay. So
my favorite thing was one of the first years that we all went a long time ago. As we're walking around, my mom says to me, she goes, Jessie, I never realized you were normal. And I was like, I will take you to Comic-Con every year if that's the effect it has.
I know how to say the right
she
things.
Does. She absolutely does. You know? She goes, you're normal. I was like, oh, Mom.
But the thing about the Comic-Con is that people love doing what they're doing.
Oh,
You're with people who are so happy to be there and are so enjoying it that they don't mind a hatchet in the middle of their heads.
And they may not have any other outlet during the year where they can express themselves that way.
Well, and that's, to me, the fun part of Comic-Con is seeing everybody so people plan their cosplays all year, sometimes many years in advance.
It's very hard to get a hotel room.
It's really, it's such a creative space. And it is chaotic, but I really enjoy now how for me, I'm happy just to sit in that front part of the convention center and just people watch
and stare,
because as I say, it's artistry and people have put so much time and effort into this stuff and they're so excited. And it makes me happy. So we'll see what November is like. We'll see how it all comes together. We'll get a sense of things.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
it's still March.
That's the strange thing.
It's still March.
Now we're not, we've had our 2 shots.
We're inoculated.
I feel like a dog has their shots, okay? And Jesse and Scott just got their first shot, and soon they'll get their second.
Oh, did I have an allergic reaction?
Oh, God, yes. Well, you know why? Because you're facial.
That's it. Surprising to no one, I had an allergic reaction. My arm is still.
Oh, no. Oh,
good grief, Charlie Brown. But you know what? Honestly,
no,
I don't care.
Get the shots, everything.
No, I'm happy to at least be halfway there. The way they set things up, my husband and I got our shots at CSUN, which is Cal State Northridge College campus,
which is in the San Fernando Valley.
Man, it was really impressive how they had all that stuff set up.
Organized?
And we had the nurse comes over. She was so sweet. The nurse comes over. She goes, hey, babies, how you doing? How are you feeling? And we were like, better now. And she just said, all right, here's what arm do you want to go in? And my husband was driving and so we both he went, well, I guess this arm, because it's by the window. I said, yeah, you can do this arm for me. She comes back over and she said, how's your day? I was like, I love you. Can I keep you?
Sit down. Let me tell you how it was. Okay.
And she gave us the shot, and she said, now you're going to wait a few minutes. We just want to make sure you're going to be okay. So you're just going to pull forward. It's a beautiful day. Just pull forward and wait a few minutes. I was like, I'm taking you home.
Yeah.
I think I love you. This is very exciting. So yeah, I'm very grateful that it was an easy enough experience. And even though my arm feels like it's about to die, there are many worse things. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone saying hi. Happy Passover to you as well. We did eat some matzah last night.
Just before it.
Which
Very
is
good too. I might say.
Yeah, my mom found a matzah that doesn't taste
That's right. You don't get
too much like sand.
I've wondered, this is sort of a rhetorical question,
Mm-hmm.
but when the Jews were wandering in the desert,
Yes.
having not had time to
No.
for
Yeah.
the bread to rise,
Uh-huh.
hence matzah.
Uh-huh.
Did they also have chocolate macaroons?
Yes, they did.
Does that tradition
They
date back
did.
to?
They had to do that at night so it wouldn't melt.
What I
But yes, they
actually
did.
heard is that the Easter Bunny is the one who makes the chocolate macaroons.
Okay.
Are you saying the Easter Bunny is Jewish?
I was
I just
no,
want to
I'm
get
just
that
saying.
straight.
Well, because
okay?
someone asked me the other day, they said, "Why are there bunnies?" And I said, first of all, watch South Park because that answers all questions. But also, that's my theory: is the bunny is the one who makes all the chocolate stuff.
Okay.
There you go.
Would Leonard ever show off his pin collection at some time? We've done that before. It's been a while, but we will happily do it again. His collection is large,
And in a drawer.
Yeah.
It's not really easy to show.
No, you
And a
don't.
lot of them
we'll
are
do it.
small. But yeah, no,
I have
happy
to put 'em on
happy
a-
to bring
on
them
a
back down
blanket.
again.
Yeah.
Aaron,
Yeah.
it's it is really fun. My favorite thing is that my dad has certain pins that we've agreed are just good for all occasions. So there's certain things where, we'll be looking at an outfit and I'll say, Robbie, which is Robbie the robot. He goes, never a bad time. You look at something, you go, Gort? Yeah, Gort. Never a bad time for Gort. We always try whatever he's doing on a given day, we try to have the pin somehow fit into that.
Right. And if I'm going to a screening at the Disney studio, I will not be wearing a Warner Brothers cartoon character.
No,
as I am
that's
today
not,
with Marvin Martian.
It's not
Yes.
going to work. No.
So I'll try to be aware of
Yes. And when you interview people, you try to choose something that might be interesting to them.
that. Mhm.
So you interview
And
Johnny.
sometimes they notice and sometimes
Yeah,
they don't.
and that's okay. I mean, that's the point. Is it's for you. You love it anyway. It doesn't matter. But you interview Johnny Depp. You put on a Buster Keaton pin.
Because of Benny and June.
And we know he's a fan. But yeah, different stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll put on different pins. But yes, we will absolutely show them again. As I say, they're tough because
Now that we've had
small,
a request.
But yes, we can
An
absolutely
excuse.
do that.
Yes.
Yes. Mimi's asking that she knows you are from the Bronx, Mama,
I'm
which is
sure.
where her parents are from. And she says, where did you go to school?
I went to PS 105, Frank D. Whalen Junior High School. By the way, my parents lied to get me in a better junior high school
Ooh.
because otherwise I would have gone to PS 83, which wasn't very good. But it didn't
think
work
this-
out to lie.
I think the statute of limitations.
I know.
Yeah, right.
And then to Christopher Columbus High School, which Salminio and
Anna Italiana,
Italiano,
later
yes,
known as Anne
Anne
Bancroft.
Bancroft,
I
and
tend to-
George Christensen, later known as I'm sorry,
Christine Jorgensen.
Christine. So you see, I mean, we in the Bronx, we're just like so cool. Okay,
You're so hip. It's painful how hip you are.
Yeah.
John is saying that I'd rather be with friends and family at home over Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, that was kind of my thing, reading
Yeah.
that Comic-Con announcement.
Yeah.
I mean, I
not
get that it's
It's not the time they usually do it, so I guess maybe that's when the hall was free. Who knows?
Part of the announcement, though, the press release said is that they're a nonprofit organization.
Yeah, amazingly enough.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
have a full-time staff.
Yeah,
Not a huge, but a full-time staff, and they've had to cut back
yeah,
and cut back hours, cut back
Yeah.
number of people working for them. They need to raise a little money,
yeah.
Isn't that funny?
which
Yeah.
sounds
And
odd.
that's it's a funny thing because we just don't think about a lot of that.
No,
But in the same way that all of my friends who work for different movie studios,
It's been a year.
there are issues.
Nobody thought it was going to be a year.
You don't think
Absolutely.
about a place like, I mean, it's fun. And again, I know it's funny to say Disney because we think of Disney as just being this monster. But Disneyland closed. What did they say? It was, they lose some, it's some insane number,
like $1
of
billion
dollars
a day or
a
something.
day being closed.
Which
Which is
stupefying.
it is. It is.
I was reading, because Disneyland is going to be opening soon, and I was reading about the rules and how so to go on a ride, you can only go on the rides with your party. Like it has to be, your groups have to be kept separate, and they can't, you have to maintain the 6 feet thing. And I just have this image in my head of it sort of looking like a Tim Burton mistake, where you're looking up at at the Ferris wheel or something like that, and there's like one person there, one over there, it's just a strange the whole thing.
Well, I just got invited to my first business lunch.
Yeah.
A friend said, want to meet at Arts Deli for lunch?
Really?
Yeah, he said, I'm double vaxxed, and I am too.
I'm very often vaxxed, but please, go on.
And I'm thinking, well, I guess there's no reason not to.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a restaurant, and, we usually get a booth, and the booth has not 6 feet, but at least some separation. And
food's good. Food's good.
I'll wear a mask till I get to the table until I order.
It's so odd. We're going.
It's so strange.
It's all so strange.
The Santa Barbara International Film Festival is on
this coming
week. And usually we are up in Santa Barbara for Leonard to present the Maltin, that's my Bronx accent, Maltin Modern Master Award. And he's going to do it. He's going to present it to
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. Thank you. I almost didn't get that one out. But it's all Zoom.
So
it's all Zoom. It's
my dad has been hosting this same event, several events, but it became this particular one every year at the Santa Barbara Film Festival, called the Modern Master Award. And what will be 6 years ago, they decided to rename it the Maltin Modern Master.
Roger asked me, would you mind?
And we said, that sounds lovely. So we were really excited about it. It was a surprise to my dad. He didn't know, but my mom and I did. And
6 months.
So keeping a secret, not easy. Thankfully, though, my dad is a really easy person to do that with, because he just doesn't ask a lot of questions. My dad's a really easy person to surprise.
Gullible.
Because he'll just go with it. Whatever it is.
And a little bit dense.
He'll just go with it. Yeah, but you're our dense.
Yeah.
But so on the night, they announced that they were changing it to the Maltin Modern Masters. So since it has been called that, the first year was Michael Keaton, and then Johnny Depp, and then Denzel Washington, and Glenn Close, and who am I missing?
And the most recent one is Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt was last year.
Fun. Well,
that was a blast.
That was
Pitt
a movie
last
star.
year.
Yes, sir.
And then this year will be Bill Murray. And the way the event works is my dad is on stage with this person for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And there's a clip package, and they go through the whole career, the whole thing. And it's a blast for the audience. You're in this beautiful theater in Santa Barbara called the Arlington Theater. Beautiful theater. So you're in this gorgeous space. Everybody it's a great audience, because everybody's really excited to be there.
They really support the festival.
And it's just fun. And there you are up on stage with them, and then they always have someone special come, such special to the honoree, to present the actual awards. So depending on who it is. So last year for Brad Pitt, it was David Fincher, and
who has directed him more than once, and
they're very close. So it's that again adds another level of sort of this magic of the evening.
Yeah. It's a real event.
It is. It's Will Smith, and then Tom Cruise presented it.
Yeah, many, as I say, because he's done it for so many years, the list is genuinely overwhelmingly cool. But this year he's going to be doing it. It's Bill Murray, which we are thrilled about.
We're delighted.
Thrilled. Who doesn't love Bill Murray? And you have to do it via Zoom.
Yeah.
And the thing is this, it's still going to be great. It's still going to be great. The way people can watch it is, I think it's like $15 they're charging, something like that, to stream the event,
which is like anything.
But people can stream it and watch. And as I say, it'll still be great. You will be wonderful. He will be wonderful. It just sucks that of all people, because
he's so much,
you love Bill
he's
Murray.
Such an interesting character.
It would be so cool to see
so
him
talented.
in that way. But you know, it is what it is. Such is life.
We'll take
so
it.
you know,
we'll take it. Yeah.
But Mark's asking, did you ever meet Ralph Bakshi? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. New York.
Oh, I didn't spend a lot of time with Ralph, but I know him.
Mm-hmm.
And
he was a tough guy.
I saw him last on the USC campus. I was walking where the coffee shop is, and I heard, "Hey, Leonard!"
I told you
it's
it's a tough
Brooklyn's
guy.
own Ralph Bakshi.
I love it.
And if you don't know who Ralph Bakshi is, he's the guy who made a permanent mark on animation by directing the first X-rated animated cartoon feature, Fritz the Cat,
Dun, dun, dun.
based on R. Crumb's character. And he made many other interesting films. He made an animated film of Tolkien, of Lord of the Rings. It's too hard to encapsulate what Ralph has done.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been a figure of prominence on the scene for decades now.
So yes, Leonard has met him.
He has. Leonard, I'm so enjoying Disney Plus. I'm sure I speak for many when I say we miss your treasures from the Disney Vault programs on TCM. He misses it too.
Yep.
You know, it stinks that it's no longer an option, but you know, it's
what can you say?
I'm sorry, I have to keep. So the folks asked me to turn Instagram on the side so you could see us all better, but it means that I have to try to read questions like this.
Now maybe we can work out a system with mirrors, though.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, Charlie and Lee just want to say that Alice looks beautiful.
Oh,
thank you, Charlie.
Those
yes,
are
she does.
Jesse's best friends in the UK and Manchester.
I had a dream about you guys last night. I will text you later. It was very strange. Not strange bad, but like you were just here and we were hanging out, and when I woke up, you weren't, and it was very upsetting.
Yeah, where'd you go?
I was not pleased. Last year, you were in the panel of Bugs Bunny's 80th birthday. Yes, that's right. You did a couple of the virtual panels for Comic-Con with your pals, which is always fun for you.
We call them his little friends.
His little friends, yes, people you've known forever. Please explain the ending of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
No.
I couldn't try.
I think it's meant to be interpreted, and you can interpret it however you choose. I don't think if we tried to pin down Mr. Kubrick, he would give you a concrete answer to that question.
From the Bronx, by the way, Mr. Kubrick.
Yeah.
All good things from the Bronx.
Everything is Brooklyn, so I have to stand up for the Bronx. Yes.
Robin is saying he's just watching The White Princess with Jodie Comer, who's so good. Everyone's fallen in love with Jodie Comer. You might know her from Killing Eve. And she plays Villanelle on that. She's fantastic. She's a brilliant actress. Anyway, he's saying, what's your favorite historical movie or series? I don't know if I have there's a lot. I'm actually watching Outlander right now. I finally caught up to the most recent series. I will listen to Scottish accents all day. Just all day. It just makes me happy.
And yes, you married a guy from Manchester.
Go
explain.
I slummed. What can I say? But I mean, you watch a lot as well. We both
I do,
watch.
but
I
I
watched
don't
The White Princess. I watched the.
I don't think you can, either a movie or a series, because they're very different. Movies, are bound to leave things out. A series doesn't.
But
have to.
you love The Crown.
Well, I do love The Crown.
watching The
I enjoyed.
Crown.
I did feel a bit uncomfortable for this season.
Too close, too real.
I just felt like
it's too real.
No, nobody wants their family up on the screen. Believe me.
Yeah,
I don't care who you are or what. Every family has their own stuff. Not us. We're perfect. By the way, any of you curious? Yes.
If Frank's asking if I could cosplay as anyone, who would it be? Do you know, if I could cosplay, I'll tell you my favorite cosplays are watching people deck out their wheelchairs. I have seen motorized wheelchairs. I've seen people with dragons. If I was going to do anything, I think I would put myself as Cinderella in a carriage so that I could be sitting all Comic-Con.
In the pumpkin carriage.
Exactly. That's what I would want to do.
Yes, exactly.
I would want to feel comfortable. That you could also have a snack in the
Yeah, sure.
you know, something to
Sure,
eat, which is
Cinderella
nice.
ate, absolutely.
I do love Cinderella's gowns. Who doesn't? Who doesn't love those gowns? So I think that's probably what I'd go with. Be Cinderella, but only if I could be in the carriage
That's
and
right.
thusly very comfortable.
She could walk, but thank God she doesn't have to.
No.
Yes,
Why would
okay.
one walk? Why would one walk if one didn't have to? I'm wondering what have you guys watched? Because I was trying to think of all the different stuff.
Actually, we watched
just
two
finished.
old movies on TCM. We recorded
yeah.
two old movies, and really, it was two really enjoyable
They
evenings.
were wonderful because
Two
they're
enjoyable
exactly
evenings.
what you needed. I think all of us in this time, we needed almost comfort food, and these two films.
And these
were
films,
that
these
way.
are films that I probably saw when I was an adolescent on TV, and not since. So it's like meeting an old friend again.
Yeah.
And the first one was The Green Years, 1946 MGM movie starring Dean Stockwell. He's not getting starring Billy.
No, he's not at all.
Charles Coburn, I think, gets top
Charles
billing.
Coburn, which is
Wonderful character actor who got an Oscar nomination for this
He
performance.
was terrific. I've never seen him
Young
that
10-year-old Dean Stockwell plays the main character, and this is a saga. It's from a novel by A.J. Cronin, who is not much known or read today, but who was a best-selling
bestseller, and many
novelist.
of his books became films. Yeah.
A doctor who took up writing with enormous success. The Citadel, another terrific movie that I haven't seen in ages, with Robert Donat and Ralph Richardson.
Oh, yeah.
And The Stars Look Down.
Yes.
That's another of his
Oh,
books.
my gosh. Right.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
The Green Years is one it has eluded me in recent years. And it completely swept us up.
We started watching it and we couldn't stop.
And
is what it was. Yeah.
Dean Stockwell plays the character as a boy. And then Tom
Drake, yes.
who is best remembered as the boy next door in Meet Me in St. Louis, is him as a young man. And it all takes place in
Scotland.
In Scotland, in a village. And they never set foot, apparently, outside Culver City, where MGM was, to make this movie. And yet it is completely convincing.
Yeah, absolutely.
They persuade you that you're there.
You're there, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
That was the magic of Hollywood studio system.
Greg Airbar just watched Green Years as well, and he loved it.
Yeah.
How much did you cry?
And Greg, a great score, I thought, by Herbert Stother.
Yeah.
who doesn't get a lot of love these days, but he was I think a brilliant composer and musical director. Anyway, that was a treat, a real treat. And the next night we watched Kim, the Rudyard Kipling story, again with Dean Stockwell.
Yeah, that's right.
And the first half I thought was
I agree with
solid,
you. I agree.
pretty solid. And then the second half,
and
no, if
gets
you don't
weaker.
have Sabu, it's not worth it. No.
And the second half, suddenly it's like bad rear projection.
Yeah,
and not very good matte paintings, and kind of a letdown.
But we just finished.
We still enjoy watching.
Yeah, sure. We just finished Call My Agent.
Yes, we finished the fourth and final season
10%
of Call My Agent on Netflix, the wonderful French series
about
a talent agency. And the people, the personalities.
Yeah, it was 4 seasons. And
with guest star appearances.
Yes.
By French.
By actual French stars.
French people.
And directors. Yes. French filmmakers as well as actors. And in the next to last episode, Sigourney Weaver.
that famous French actress, Sigourney Weaver.
Apparently speaks fluent French.
Oh, I'm sure she does.
Eric says that last night he rewatched George Pal's War of the World with a fun 1959 sci-fi film called First Man into Space. I'd never heard of the latter, and it was fun. How do you think 1950s sci-fi compares to modern sci-fi?
Well, 1950s sci-fi was made in the post-atomic bomb era, the decade following, that, and that fueled a lot of the science fiction because the unthinkable had been, had come true, had come to fruition, if that's quite the word. And so there's and of course, the Cold War came along as well. So there was an us versus them mentality, and I think that's an undercurrent, if not a major theme or obvious themes, undercurrent to all those films. I saw First Man into Space at a kiddie matinee, I think. Is that one with Marshall Thompson? Gosh, so many years ago. War of the Worlds is a really interesting film. And if you get the Criterion edition on Blu-ray, they have some really good behind the scenes stuff, how they did it, that Ben Burt and Craig Barron did. And
Ben Burt, by the way, if that's not a name you're familiar with, you are very, very familiar with his work.
Yeah.
And his son has followed in his footsteps, which is also really cool.
Ben Burt, who devised all the sounds for Star Wars.
Yep. When you hear a lightsaber, even just the breathing, even Darth Vader's breathing, all of that, it all comes from Ben Burt.
Yep. And it's true for the Indiana Jones movies as well, starting with Raiders of the Lost Ark. And he's a great guy.
Yes.
And an old movie fanatic like myself.
Yep. He's what we call a good egg.
Yeah.
Fascinating man. For all of us, what Disneyland or Disney World attraction do you love and miss so much you wish they brought it back? Oh, so something that they don't have anymore.
Well, see, we weren't out here in the 50s or 60s. And so the one that I've always wished I could have experienced was the hovercraft.
Of course. Well, yeah, all of us. Don't we all wish we could have been here for the hovercraft?
Wow.
Good
I know
grief.
I know it broke down repeatedly, which is why they finally scrapped it.
Yeah.
But boy, that sounds fascinating.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is funny because obviously, depending on how old you are, certain things are going to be more fun. As a kid, Autopia is the greatest thing in the world because you get to drive.
But I was living in
once I was old enough, it was like I drove to get to Disneyland.
Yeah.
I don't need to do Autopia.
Yeah.
But as a kid, it's
when
like
I was 8 or 9 years old, that was like Valhalla. Gee.
Of course. Anytime you get to drive. Isn't it funny? I still have this with friends. Isn't it funny that it still seems like the coolest thing to drive a golf cart? Like most of us drive cars. A golf cart, but for whatever reason, you get that opportunity. You think that this is it. I'm living the dream. But yeah, I think Autopia. I don't know that there's anything that I loved that isn't there, other than like the historical type. Carousel of Progress.
Do they still have the figures of Lincoln? I don't.
Great moments with Mr.
Great
Lincoln.
moments. I'm just wondering.
I miss, and I will always miss, the Penny Arcade.
Well, yeah.
The facade is still there, and they still have a couple of mutoscopes last time I checked.
I think the elephant is still there. That big glass elephant. Am I wrong?
Glass elephant?
Perhaps I was
anyway. And I used to play the player piano. Quarters and
stuff like that.
Player piano. All that old-timey stuff.
Yeah. I think, we're not huge. My parents are not huge ride people. Neither of them are big on rides in a general sense.
We scream a lot.
You do. You is Pirates still your favorite, or is Haunted Mansion your favorite?
I think Pirates is my favorite. Yeah.
Though I don't think you've been on since they changed.
Well, I know, and they changed it to make it correct.
Yes.
And I just was laughing. It seemed silly to me.
I still love. So there's a part of Pirates of the Caribbean, if you hadn't been on it, where they used to have men chasing women. And the way they changed it is they put food in the women's hands. So the men were instead, the idea would be that someone would see it and be like, oh, they're not chasing the women, they're chasing after the food. And I just love the idea of how do we fix this?
Yeah.
How do we put some chicken in her hands, and that'll make it okay.
Always feature. Absolutely.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Which Cirque's soaps do you recommend people see first?
Soaps.
Cirque's.
Douglas Sirk. Okay.
My mom says, "What do you want to know about soap?"
What are you asking me for?
Do you start with Imitation of Life?
I like Imitation of Life, but I really prefer the
Magnificent Obsession.
Yeah, I like
All Mine to Give.
Yeah.
Tarnished Angels.
Yeah, I like Magnificent Obsession, and I mean, it's just fun seeing the world that he created, which probably never really existed anyway. I mean, I don't know.
Bill's got a good one here. Whom would you rather have solving your mysteries, Moto or Chan?
Oh, well.
Chan.
Oh, man.
Mr. Moto's nice, but Charlie Chan.
Charlie Chan.
Charlie
Absolutely.
Chan.
Not a question.
Absolutely.
Not a question.
And Charlie Chan was inspired by a real life detective on the Honolulu police force named Chan Apana, I believe.
I love the idea of walking up to someone and saying, Chan or Moto? hey, you, Chan or Moto? Jerry says, possibly a silly question. Which of the guys from Termite Terrace were you able to interview? Bob McKinson, Chuck Jones, Fritz Freeling, Mel Blanc.
All of the above except for Robert McKimson.
Mm-hmm.
Never met him. But you didn't mention, Bob Clampett. I was very lucky.
Yeah.
We spent a fair amount of time.
We got out here just in time to be able to be with some.
Fritz Freeling was very generous to me. Chuck Jones, we met on many different occasions.
Long time. And we're still friendly with his daughter, who does a beautiful job trying to keep his legacy alive.
Foundation and whatnot.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And Mel Blanc, what can I say?
Legend. Jonathan says, have you watched Back to the Future? Of course.
Sure. The last time I saw it, I hosted
it's only a few years ago.
Yeah. Downtown at part of the Last Remaining Seats series that the LA Conservancy puts on Broadway, in the classic movie theaters on Broadway. And we saw it at the United Artists Theater, now called the Ace Hotel.
And they brought
the DeLorean.
Because there's never a bad time.
Right outside. There's the DeLorean.
Never a bad time for a DeLorean.
And a couple of cast members were there too.
Yeah.
It's again, very lucky. Living in LA is very fortunate if you're a movie buff, because there's so many events that happen all the time. The Legion Theater that our friend Taylor worked out, having this big old drive-in in the back, has been showing different stuff. And a lot of friends have been going there and seeing beautiful things up on a big screen. They worked really hard to make sure that it looked great. Because the main issue with a drive-in, as my dad will tell you, is that it's really not generally how you want to see a movie, because the screen's not always great, the sound's not always great.
I never see a movie.
But
and you look through a windshield.
Yeah, not ideal. Not ideal. The Criterion Safety Last features Harold Lloyd, the Third Genius. Have you seen it?
Yes, that was I think a 3-part documentary done by Kevin Brownlow and his longtime partner David Gill, and it's great. It's a great way to introduce somebody to Harold Lloyd, or to immerse yourself in the career and world of Harold Lloyd. And that's having already done Unknown Chaplain, which is brilliant, and Buster Keaton, 2 different documentaries on Buster Keaton.
Yeah, that came out at almost the same time. Oh no, sorry, I'm thinking of the I'm thinking of the one that just happened with Orson Welles. There were 3 things. Sorry, I'm remembering they all came out at the same time, and you're like, you went from none to 3. Hello, Maltin family. Hi, Amy. Been watching old What's My Line episodes, which is something they enjoy immensely.
Us too.
Mystery guests included Walt Disney and Alfred Hitchcock. Such a fun show. Do you all watch WVWR, watch old game shows? I think that's I just tried to read that, but it didn't. Do you all watch old game shows? Yes.
Yes. Except it's hard to watch. Some of the outlets that show them won't let you speed through won't let you DVR them.
Yeah, so you have to have
speed through the
commercials, which are so.
Alice does not do commercials.
No, I don't. But they're this they're so amateurish is how they are, really. I mean, because it was a whole other time. But we on Sunday nights we do try and watch.
Which is when What's My Line was broadcast live.
John Charles Daly. Yes.
I like to watch. Sometimes I'll watch that stuff on YouTube. I'll watch some older episodes of shows like that. It's just relaxing. It's just a happy thing. I also love manners. I love the manners and the way things are phrased.
Miss Kilgallen, Miss Francis, Mr. Cerf,
yes.
And then John Daly will say, a panel.
Yes.
This is our guest, Fritz Friedrich.
Yes.
Mr. Friedrich, this is the panel. And they sort of bow.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Do you often bathe? Like I'm saying, just the way they ask the question.
No, it's true.
What do you say that what you do would have something to do with
bath,
with monkeys? Mr. or Mrs. What would you say? Would you say that you do find yourself surrounded by meerkats on a regular basis? Or is that, it's just so polite. It does it.
I always thought that when it was over, they all went to some wonderful restaurant or some very fancy dinner party. I don't know if they did or not, but that's the way they always looked.
They look like
heading
they
out.
Yes.
Yes.
Our pal Ryan says, hello, I hope that you are all doing well and enjoying your new dog, Mabel. Mabel is asleep in my lap right now. Hercules is still pissed off at the world over there. Oh, you just popped your head up. You want to say hi to me?
Yeah.
She's sleeping right here.
This is our
just a little Mabel's. Just a little
our
Mabel's.
Rescue Mabel.
She is doing really well. She's doing really well. My husband and I took her to her first puppy class yesterday, which was so much fun. Let me tell you, my dream came true when I'm in a room full of puppies. But so she's starting to learn some stuff. We're going to try to make a little lady out of you. Yeah, with some manners. But she's a love bug. And I feel really, really lucky that we found her, and she fits in. She fits in nicely. We just hope that Hercules is going to come around.
Hercules is
and not look like we had betrayed him forever.
Hercules is like, when is she leaving?
Not happy.
Is she going away yet? How about now? But yeah, she's doing really well. Thank you. Should we read the rest of our friend's question? Oh, Miss Maples, you are sleepy. As for what I've been watching, this past week, I finally got through my rewatch of the 1957 Zorro that I started in the summer thanks to your amazing Disney Treasure series. He wants to know, what is your favorite Zorro episode and who's your favorite character?
Oh, I don't have a favorite episode.
Yeah. Not Henry?
I don't.
We do love the Annette Funicello episode, and I always bring it up because it makes me laugh. And it's how Annette Funicello says, "Gracias, Señor Zorro, gracias." The most authentic accent you've ever heard in your life.
When I was a kid, I was fascinated by the character Bernardo, played by the ex-vaudevillian Gene Sheldon, as a mute, and who has to pantomime everything. And when I saw Toby Tyler, the Walt Disney feature, and they had both Henry Calvin, who plays Sergeant Garcia, and Gene Sheldon, who plays Bernardo in it, and Gene Sheldon spoke. It's like, what?
Harpo speaks.
He has a voice?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That was a jarring moment, I will confess.
Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, I think you'd be hard pressed to find a better person than Guy Williams.
He's just terrific.
The handsome is overwhelming with that man. That is.
And he became a very good fencer. And so was able to do a lot of his own fencing scenes.
Yeah, he just has, again, he carries himself so beautifully, and I think that's what's always stuck with me about him. You know, my husband and I just started watching the new series. The I wish the name was, it's Winter Soldier Hawk.
Yeah.
Flying in the sky, the Falcon and the Snowman. That's, you know what, Falcon and the Snowman is definitely what I'm going to call it from now on. We just started watching that.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah,
I prefer the Falcon and the Snowman.
Yeah.
So we just started watching it, and in it, part of it is that Steve Rogers, former Captain America, has stepped aside, and there's a new guy who's come in to be Captain America, and it's been really funny. It's Wyatt Russell is who comes in. He just doesn't look great in the ensemble. And I was talking to Janelle Riley about this yesterday, that, like, especially with the mask on, it's just not a great look for him. She described him as derpy, and I have to say, derpy is the word. But it makes you think about something like this. It's like some people are just perfect as a certain character. And Guy Williams is such a perfect Zorro.
Yes, he is.
Perfect Zorro. And, you know,
I mean, people enjoyed him later in Lost in Space.
Oh, you know, it's not the only thing he did. But there are certain people that there's a reason why, you know, you close your eyes and you think Sean Connery, you're like, yeah, that's Bond, you know, and there've been other great Bonds. There absolutely have been, but I do think that there are just certain people where they put the outfit on and you go, yeah.
Fess Parker is Davy Crockett.
Oh yeah. Well, don't get better.
No,
you don't get better.
Don't get
Fess
better.
Parker. When's the last time you guys had the wine?
Oh,
it's
it's
been
a
long
while.
time. We used to go up. He had a winery. I mean, he still does. His son
the
does
Fess
it.
Parker vineyard.
Yeah, and that is in Los Olivos, which is about 45 minutes north of Santa Barbara. He's a very smart man.
Mhm.
I mean, we spent time with him and his secretary as well.
He toured us around the vineyard.
I mean, he was so kind. He was very generous. And his secretary said to me, people don't understand just how smart that man is.
Mm.
And now his son, Eli, has taken over.
Yeah. It's brilliant. And as I say, I hope they're still doing the coonskin caps on the wine.
I hope so
Because
too.
that's the
I think
the
that's
chef's
the logo.
kiss.
That's the logo. There'd be no reason.
It's
to
the
change
chef's kiss. Why mess with perfection? Leonard, if you had to pick one, what is your favorite Disney treasure night you hosted on TCM? Their favorite is the June 2016 installment. I don't think you remember it that well.
No, see, because we taped a whole bunch of them all on the same day.
Yes.
So they kind of blur a little bit in my memory. I don't have them compartmentalized, so I can't give you a good answer to that. I mean, some of them had a really perfect balance of animated cartoon, live action feature, nature film. They hit more than missed.
Yeah. There's a lot of good ones. What's your favorite superhero movie?
Well, actually, I used to say Spider-Man 2, which I still like a lot. But I think it's a tie between that and the Avengers.
Yeah, that first Avengers film is so good.
It's so well written, and how he orchestrated that film to give equal time, or seemingly equal time, to every character and every relationship, and have them all matter, and do it with a sense of humor too.
Well, that's I think where all of those various Avenger films, I think what saves them every single time is it's such a good script. Mm-hmm. Generally speaking, it's such a good script, and that humor is so vital because that's what makes them entertaining. They're well done. They are well done. I think that's definitely up there for me. I do love Deadpool. It makes me laugh. My husband and I watch it. It's sort of one of our go-to, just put it on movies, makes us laugh. I don't know what else. I tend not to watch a lot of them multiple times, but if they're on, I will. Then my husband and I, another one, we watch Guardians of the Galaxy a lot, that first one, because that's another really fun one. I just want to be entertained. That's all, I want to enjoy myself. Is Safety Last your favorite Harold Lloyd movie?
Again, I know people like to ask me about favorites, but it puts me in an awkward position because sometimes I just can't pick one. I just can't pick one.
It's the same thing with Buster. You can't really pick one.
Yeah.
The Freshman is great. The Kid Brother is great. And Safety Last is great. I guess those are my top three. Those would be my top three.
Yeah.
I can boil it down just that far.
How many DVD Blu-rays do you buy every month? Not many, because a lot of them get sent.
Anybody want any?
I'm on a press reviewing list. I mean, I'm very fortunate, to do that. As a friend of mine said years ago, though, he said, yeah, but you have to pay full price for furniture. People have an uncle in the furniture business.
Yeah, everybody's got something.
They get a deal, but they have to pay full price for DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yes. What have you found to be the best way to deal with grumpy interview subjects and with interviewees who are nice but really shy and quiet?
Well, there's no magic formula, and sometimes it just doesn't work.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes you can do a headstand, and it's just not going to happen.
We only have, and we can't say who, but we only have one episode of our show that did not air.
Oh, that's right.
And of Maltin, of the podcast we do that did not air. And it is one of the strangest experiences of my life. And I would say it's up there for you too.
Oh, sure.
You've interviewed a lot of people. This was a weird one.
Oh, sure. And I had interviewed this person.
Yeah.
not many years, 15
No,
years or
no.
more had passed.
Yeah.
But I had no reason to have any trepidations.
No.
You know?
And you've dealt with difficult. I mean, we talked a little bit about you've interviewed someone like Richard Dreyfuss, who can be difficult. Tommy Lee Jones, who can be difficult. You know, there are people who, going towards that grumpy side, there are people who just sometimes, as my dad says to me, that all he wants to do, he wishes he could just look at them and say, look, we're both here to get a job done. So let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
Unfortunately, at the end
and
of
go
the
home.
day, some of them they're just
Yeah.
so tired.
It's like,
really.
we're here, answer the questions, let's just be done with it. And for us, this particular interview was so strange because it was okay until it wasn't okay. And I don't know if this person had a mood swing or what happened, but all of a sudden it just went downhill quickly. And he sort of ended the interview, and we didn't even, and our wonderful engineer.
He said goodbye.
Yeah.
With a finality.
Yeah.
And like, huh?
It was just, yeah,
Huh?
it was just the
What
strangest. It was one of the strangest experiences I've ever had. And when we left the place we were interviewing him, my dad and I got in the car, and it was like we were just sort of both shell shocked.
Yeah.
We were kind of sitting there, and I was saying to my dad, have you ever had that? And the part that did make me laugh was that, bless my dad, at a certain point I gave up. To give you a sense, the answers, suddenly this person switched, and the answers became my dad saying, so what's it like to try to finance a movie?
Well, you just go out and raise some money.
Right. But I mean, what kind of, do you write emails? Do you make phone calls? What do you?
There are people who help me do that.
Oh, were you looking forward to directing?
Well, I directed before.
It was like that. and so when that happened, I just went, cool, I'm just going to sit here because there's no point. My dad, God bless him, was like, so you like to write books, huh? How about those dolphins? Like he just kept trying, and it was just not happening. So yeah, for grumpy or rude people, you just sort of do what you can. And then
do the best you can.
For shy or quiet, same thing. Some people, when you interview them, will just answer your question. It's not conversational.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll ask them a question and they'll say, yes, I really enjoyed doing that and I had a good time.
And
they stop.
Some people are anecdotal or naturally anecdotal,
yeah.
or who have become anecdotal.
Yeah,
they've learned to play
learned.
the game. And some just that's not the way they are.
No.
Not part of their
And you've
makeup.
been doing this for a very long time.
Yep.
And you kind of just, and my mom and I always say, because my dad's an excellent interviewer, obviously.
I think he's the best. I really do, seriously.
And we love watching him on stage. And there are just times where we're sitting there and we're going, he's doing all he can. Like, he's giving it all he's got. And again, people are human. So it could be a bad day.
Yep.
It could be that they are just a jerk. You really don't know. And you hope that you get them on a good day.
Yeah.
And
or that you finally find that one subject that they're actually happy to talk about.
Yeah. You were just saying this, and again, this is not necessarily a negative to a person, but if you can find a key, if you can find something that is going to turn them on. We were just talking about the actress Isabella Rossellini, and that my dad, when he met her, brought up what we lovingly call the magic word, Janine Basinger, a phenomenal woman, a legend.
Legendary film teacher, scholar, and author.
In this country,
at Wesleyan University in Middletown, Connecticut.
Yeah.
And Janine started an archive for filmmakers. And she started it having gotten a promise from Frank Capra to donate all of his papers, which he did. And he persuaded his longtime editor, William Hornbeck, who started with Max Sennett in the early silent era, to donate his memorabilia, and Connecticut resident Ilya Kazan, and Robert Sadek, the producer of Omnibus, a landmark TV show. So the archive opened with those collections. And since then, she has persuaded everybody from John Waters to Clint Eastwood, to make the same commitment, and many, many others. And the family of Ingrid Bergman.
Yeah.
The children of Ingrid Bergman, Pia Lindstrom.
Yeah.
Pia Lindstrom, and I'm forgetting the brother's name.
Roberto?
No. Anyway,
George,
Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan.
Ingrid Bergman's children, who are all involved in that wonderful documentary that came
Yes.
out a couple of years
Yes.
ago. And and I knew that they had all met Janine. And so I said to Ms. Rossellini, I'm an old friend of Janine Basinger's. And then she had been polite to me.
Yeah.
I was making
She
small
was
talk.
very nice. It wasn't
Yeah.
that she wasn't nice.
But that brought a big smile to her face,
yeah.
and a connection point. And so sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's, but sometimes that can fail. And so I rarely use that, because sometimes I'll say, Jessie Maltin is my daughter. She said you two hung out a lot together
Went to
at
school
school.
or something, yeah.
And there's nothing more embarrassing. Then you just want to dig a hole.
You want to dig a hole and you want to die, and you know what? No.
Yeah.
No, it is the tricky, like, there are moments where you want to go, all right, I know that you know my friend, but is it worth you staring at me blankly?
Yeah.
I still tease boyfriend about Jeff Bridges.
Oh.
About it.
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges, God bless him, memory of a goldfish. This should not surprise anyone. But there are certain things. So there's something that I've met him, I'm going to say 18 times now. And each time my dad says, hello. And they know each other, recognize each other. Hello. My dad will introduce me. And every time he says, Jessie, I have a daughter named Jessie. Every time, every single time. And the last time we saw him, I actually said it as he said it. And I said, I know you do. But yeah, that's it.
But again, see, that's unfair, because
but I don't take it
famous
personally at
people
all.
meet
Oh,
so many people.
That's the thing. No, it doesn't.
In the course of a year.
No, that's what's so funny though about people saying, who are you friends with? You go, very few. There's knowing somebody.
One of my mentors was Bob Thomas. Bob Thomas was the Associated Press Hollywood correspondent for more than 50 years, starting in, I think, 1944 when he graduated from UCLA. And he wrote great feature pieces for them, interview pieces. And then he wrote a series of wonderful biographies of movie moguls, starting with Harry Cohn, who started Columbia Pictures. Anyway, Bob Thomas said to me,
upstaged by a puppy.
my first trip out here to Los Angeles, he invited me to his home in Encino, and we were speaking, and he said, I have no friends in show business.
Mm.
I said, what do you mean? He said, well, I deal with a lot of people, and I know a lot of people, and they know me, but I have no friends in show business, except one. He was friendly with Ken Murray, the comedian that is now famous for having taken home movies of the stars. And through Ken Murray, he knew Billy Gilbert, who I loved. And at that time, how I got to meet Billy Gilbert. Anyway, Bob, I've never forgotten that. Bob knew the difference between meeting somebody, knowing somebody, and being a friend.
Yeah.
And so I use that. His definition is.
I think
good
we all
friend
do
of
that
friend.
out here,
Yeah.
actually.
Now I want to take a few minutes
Yeah,
before we
please.
lose
Please.
track. I woke up to some sad news several days ago, which is that the great, and I don't use the term loosely, the great French filmmaker Bertrand Tavernier had passed away at age 79. And I was blessed to get to know him and to become friendly with him. And we became email pen pals. Actually, the first thing I got from him was a fax. This is sort of the history of communications.
My dad wrote a lovely piece about him on the website. If you go to leonardmaltin.com, it's a really nice piece about
Bertrand made so many wonderful movies like Coup de Torchon and A Sunday in the Country and Round Midnight, his only English language. No, it's not his only English language movie. He made another one. Round Midnight, starring the great jazz saxophonist Dexter Gordon. And but he was also a film historian and a champion of
And a lovely man.
unsung films and forgotten filmmakers. And in Walking Encyclopedia, he wrote a 2-volume history of American film. Breathtaking. Anyway, a couple of years ago, he showed at the Telluride Film Festival a 3-hour plus documentary called My Journey Through French Cinema, sort of a companion piece to Martin Scorsese's voyage to Italy. And when it was over, after 3 hours, Ken Burns, the documentary filmmaker, and I were sitting together, and we both said, more, we want more. And not because of us, but because he wanted to do more. It is now an 8-part series that has just come out on Blu-ray, Journeys Through French Cinema. And it's not just a documentary where then they made this film, then they made this film, and you shouldn't miss this film. It's very personal because he worked with some of these people.
Such a great cover.
Yeah, and knew some of these people and had experiences other than just watching the movie and admiring the movie.
It says Bertrand Tavernier, director of My Journey Through French Cinema, returns with an 8-part series that picks up where the film left off.
Yep, I can't wait.
And it's Cohen Media Group. As I say, if you go to the website and you look at the Bertrand piece, it talks about this. So if you don't remember the name or anything like that, you can find it.
Anyway, so just a moment to remember. A great filmmaker and a great champion of film.
He was so blue, Leonard, when he got that news.
And I wasn't the only one in that circle of people that he was sort of Bertrand followers. And Todd McCarthy, who wrote a nice piece in for Deadline, and a number of others. And Alexander Payne also one of his. Of course.
No, there's the good and the bad of knowing a lot of really wonderful people as they get older is that they decide to leave, which is just not right. I got boyfriend. Boyfriend is watching. Hi, boyfriend. One of my very, very best friends in the entire world, Michael Alden, is my forever boyfriend, and I'm his forever girlfriend. So we all just call him boyfriend. Yes, we had Janine on the podcast. We did. If you want to listen to the Janine Basinger episode, we also had Ken Burns on, which was a lot of fun.
Ken, whose 3-part documentary about Ernest Hemingway is coming up in, I think, 2 weeks on public broadcasting on PBS. And we got we were able to get a sneak peek 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah.
And it's
so good. It's just
overpowering.
Overwhelmingly.
Yeah.
Because of all the information. I mean,
and one of the ones that you recently was the country music one.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that
knocked you out.
Absolutely.
I know we talked about it at the time. It's been several months, but you guys were really knocked out by that one.
And because we didn't expect to be interested.
Yeah.
And it just pulled us in.
Because of the history and all, like the family atmosphere, which we had no way of knowing of all these musicians for country music. Yeah.
Do you guys plan to watch Park Lane's 8-hour documentary on the Criterion Channel? I'm not familiar. You?
I'm not. I confess that I'm not.
Tell us more, Tim. Mama, you want to get some of your pieces out?
Oh, okay. Yes.
How is this comfortable, Mabel? She's got like half of her body. What are you doing, you silly girl?
Oh, this is Foley.
What are you doing, you silly girl?
I just, again, these are little things that, well, yeah, you're going to have to hold them. That is, oh, hello, George the Fifth. George the Fifth. And that's just stuff they did for that. It was Foley China.
And it's for the coronation in 1911.
1911.
June 22nd, 1911.
There you go.
And it's in the form of a carpet bag.
Carpet bag, yeah. And then and then this is, it's okay, didn't do it. The Prince of Wales with the 3 feathers in the back. Just small piece.
This is July 1911.
Right. Yeah, well, that was his parents, and he became Edward VIII, the uncrowned king who went off with Wallace. But turn it around, you can see the three feathers, which is the Prince of Wales.
How so?
That's
The prince is made of feathers?
the prince. That's the symbol. That's the emblem.
The symbol?
I wasn't there. I didn't make it.
I wasn't there. I didn't
was-
make it.
I have this on our bed, and I just thought, well, this would be interesting. I don't even know where I picked this up, but this is for William, for his birth. The man who
Beautiful.
will be
Beautiful piece
will
of
be king.
needlepoint.
Neat, yeah, really neat.
And it says, the birth of a prince.
June 12th, 1982.
Yeah, there you go. Very hard to believe that. I don't know about you guys, but I find time goes so fast. I mean, even just looking at the kids as they're growing up, you know.
And what is this?
That is,
Oh, this is for Victoria.
yeah, it was a stamp. You see? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see. Like if you have some sealing wax sitting around and you want to make an envelope look really special, you put this stamp in the sealing wax, and there's Victoria herself.
Tim's saying that it's a 2015 film that in real time shows a whole workday of a factory that makes bowling alley equipment in Virginia. Huh.
That sounds very interesting.
That
It really
does sound
does, you know.
interesting. That sounds like something we would watch.
The last thing is this is a snuff box, and this was done for Victoria and Albert with the
Let me
kids.
get it closer. There we are.
And so
That's
he
better.
he
You're doing my
died
scrunchy
young. So
Yeah, it's,
De-scrunch.
yeah,
Thank you, Rachel. She is ridiculously adorable, and I look forward to her meeting
that's
you.
all. That's fine for me today. I can't go any further.
You want to show those two little things, then?
oh, yes. Well, I was looking for something I haven't shown before. This is an Esquire magazine date book. Esquire was a sophisticated and remains sophisticated men's magazine that started, I think, in the 1930s and hit its stride in the 40s and 50s, long before Playboy or Hugh Hefner came along. And this is the 1943 date book, which actually is a calendar, day-by-day calendar, but it's filled with beautiful photos, beautiful, lush color photographs by the great Hollywood portrait photographer George Hurrell. And this is the always exotic Maria Montez on the cover. And Hurrell was somebody that
He's
took the
prized today, actually, a
Yeah.
Hurrell
Looks like
photograph.
looking.
there's Ann Miller looking very, very young, which she was.
And not tapping. Well, she-
Whoop, Herc.
Whoops, there goes
There
her.
goes Herc.
There goes her.
Hi, Bob. Herc says, "Don't look at me. You're holding that thing." Sorry, Hercules.
And there's some cartoons in here,
Mm-hmm.
and probably politically incorrect,
Yeah.
but the glamour photos are intact, and that's what he represented, was Hollywood glamour. My friend Mark Vieira has written 2 books, or compiled and written 2 books, coffee table books on George Hurrell, and who taught him. He was a disciple of George Hurrell, and he still shoots photographs with Hurrell's large format camera in a massive wooden frame,
And edits in the same way as well.
and retouches.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't call it retouching.
Yeah.
But there was a particular process in the days before Photoshop,
Hello, my darling.
generation before Photoshop,
You blew them up,
and did
and by
hand
hand you go in.
with sometimes with a pencil
Yeah.
on the negative.
Yeah. It's
Astonishing.
remarkable stuff. Someone is asking if you're a fan of Disney scented candles. And I'll be honest, I don't think you are. I'm sure you'd like them
I'm not a
fine.
fan of candles, period.
It's never a bad time.
I'm not a
No.
candle guy.
Oh,
I know, right? Yeah, as I say, we took her to puppy school yesterday. It's and one of the things that they said to us was, "Don't say no, say And my husband and I went.
I've been saying that to
Yeah.
Leonard all day.
So, the other
actually.
thing we got though, and I decided that we're going to use this as a family. Got a clicker, because when you teach the dogs how to do stuff, you're supposed to signify that they've done a good job by clicking. But I've decided that we're just going to do that as a family, so that when my mom does something well, I go, Alice.
Yes, exactly.
Husband has just walked in. Good job,
That's
husband.
it.
You're very good. You're confusing the dogs. My husband is going to be the next Caesar Milan. I see it coming. Did you guys ever read the book companion pieces to Ken Burns documentaries?
No. And I know that they have done, these are not glibly.
Nothing he does would be glibly just.
No,
yeah.
No.
These are very solid books.
Ken takes a lot of time in every single thing that he does.
And his collaborators.
Yeah.
And he works very closely with a
Yeah.
team of collaborators, including Jeffrey C. Ward, who is his primary writer.
And his daughter.
And his daughter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sarah.
Who's fantastic, Sarah. And his other daughter doesn't work with him, Lily, but she is a fantastic producer on her own. She works on all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
The last question we will take today is, what are some of the, hang on one second. I saw it and I liked it. So I'm
Oh,
going
baby,
back.
come here, honey. Come here.
What do you think are the most underrated Bogart and Cagney performances? I thought that was an interesting question.
Oh, that is interesting.
Okay, if you want
Underrated.
just get this one up.
Oh, Hercules.
Oh, come here.
If it isn't one dog, it's the other.
All right. Yes.
Well,
Yes. I see.
for Bogart, well, I like so much that he did. Well, there's a comedy called All Through the Night that is just a silly wartime film, and it's fun to see him having fun. And the same is true in a different kind of humor. Beat the Devil, the film that he made for John Huston on location in Europe, was co-written by Truman Capote. And stories
Well,
of
that's an interesting
stories of the making of the film are as interesting as the story told in the movie. It's very dryly funny, and I like it very much.
I like that.
And
Cagney? You
Cagney.
can say no, Mama. That no
Okay.
works too. No, Miss Mabel, please don't bite my
Yeah,
face.
please don't.
Teething
bite my
puppies.
neck. Yes.
Cagney,
Yes.
Cagney, another guy who you're riveted to the screen when he's on camera.
So much.
No one else matters.
Person. I mean, nobody else was like him. Nobody. Whether you liked it or not, there was nobody like him.
Gee whiz, and he did so many films for Warner Brothers in the early 30s. They had him in like 8 films a year, and they're all snappy and fun, and kind of rude. These pre-code movies like Taxi and Picture Snatcher. Just for instance, Jimmy the Gent. They all have something to recommend them, and mostly it's him. That's what it is. It's him.
Mm.
Yesterday, friends and I celebrated or commemorated the 100th birthday of Harold Nicholas, of the fantastic Nicholas brothers.
And we've talked about them before because we love them so much.
And Bruce Goldstein, who is an expert and devotee, found on YouTube a piece of film I'd never seen before. And apparently no one else had noticed it, or no one in our group had noticed it. If you type in Nicholas Brothers Pathé newsreel, you'll get a British Pathé newsreel segment in which the brothers, there was no sound recorded with them. They're on some steps leading to a monument in London, and they figure out a routine together on these concrete steps. And it's very loose and improvisational,
Of course.
but it's just charming, absolutely charming. And if you want to see them at their best, apparently almost all of their numbers are on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the thing. YouTube can be a fantastic resource. You can look up the Nicholas brothers. You cannot go wrong. They're incredible.
Down Argentine way.
Yeah. Oh, God, so good. So good. Anyway, love the Nicholas brothers. I can't do hi again. So we will sign off for now. She says, am I not the most adorable thing?
That's right.
You are.
Yes.
You are. Thank you, as always, everybody, for joining us. We love getting to spend Sundays with you. You can
But we will
always-
not be here next Sunday.
No.
We will be in Santa Barbara at the film festival. Whoop!
They are doing films at drive-in. There's,
Yeah.
I think they're building
No.
2 drive-ins
No
up there,
biting
right
this table.
on the ocean. Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we won't be here next week, but we will happily make that up to you. As I say, if you guys would like us to do maybe a Monday evening, I know that some people are in other countries, that may not work. But let us know if you want us to try to make it up for you on Monday, perhaps. If not, we will see you the following week. Thank you, as always, for joining us. You can follow us on the various social places. Thank you again to everybody signing up for the Patreon. It means so much. It's Patreon.
I need a new pair of shoes.
Alice needs new shoes.
Thank
Patreon /Maltin on Movies. Thank you.
Who could be cruel to that dog?
Oh,
I
Mama.
don't understand it. I mean, really.
Well,
Beautiful dog like
Somebody, just explain that. Somebody mistreated
she's a rescue.
this puppy.
She's a rescue, and the breeder that had her did not take good care of her. And that was the problem. She wasn't taken care of. But she is now.
She
Aren't
just
you?
loves people. Yeah.
You're being taken care of now. So we will say goodbye. And get a little say goodbye. Whoop, come here for
Now,
one
this
second,
is
miss.
a Zoom goodbye.
Goodbye,
Yes,
Miss
So
Mayor.
it's in stages.
In stages. We will see you all